Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Today's video is a conglomeration of videos and comments made at various times in the case, and I just think it's interesting to see how consistent somebody was or how inconsistent somebody is. And just let me know what you guys think about these various segments, all right? So let's get started on those segments right now. And these are about Stephan Sterns or Stephan Sterns or Stephen Sterns or whatever the hell his name is. But does anybody really care how to pronounce his name?
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to. A living nightmare. It's a living nightmare. She's a sweetheart. She's a very sweet, kind girl. Just please be nice to her. Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her. Wherever she is, I hope she's okay.
Isn't that just absolutely disgusting? How he can just sit there and pretend that he just really hopes she comes home, and wherever she is, well, you know exactly where she is, Stephan Sterns. You put her right here next to this location in the video. You parked your car, you had a flat tire, and you picked up her body and you ran across the street and you hit her, and then you wait and watch, and then you ran across the street, you fixed your tire, and you drove away. You know exactly where she is at the time that you're talking in this video. And you also know that you went to the dumpster multiple times. It's pretty interesting.
When is the last time that you...
Now this next portion here is about like that morning when he was dropping her off, the different versions of the story told by different people. Jennifer's versions are pretty consistent the whole time because she's merely repeating what Stephan Sterns told her and believed what he was saying.
So,
Dropped her off yesterday morning.
okay, about what time was it?
Approximately sometime between 8:25 and 8:40ish is when I dropped her off.
And where were you dropping her to?
I was taking her to school.
Got it. And it's my understanding that you dropped her off like a little bit away from school.
Yeah, she sometimes likes to get dropped off a bit down the road away. She likes to walk over and catch up with her friends, or just not being seen getting out of a hoopty in front of school.
Okay. And when you say hoopty, you're referring to your...
My car that she's embarrassed to be seen getting out.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, poor Stephan, man. She's embarrassed about your car. I mean, God, he's just... Knowing what he did and listening to these again, it just... man, it's just so nauseating.
Where did you drop her off at? Do you remember approximately?
It was...
You're good.
Hey, can we interest you here, Stephan Sterns? I know you can't be bothered, but do you need to really yawn and pretend that you're really tired when you know that you actually killed Madeline?
It was along the stretch of road, kind of where all those communities are, leading up to the overpass, and then the school is on the other side of the overpass. So I dropped her off along that stretch where all those communities are.
Gotcha. Is it like on the sidewalk or near the parking lot?
There's a sidewalk there. And then they've got the church on the other side of the street, and then the overpass, and then the school. So it was maybe no more than a block away.
Okay. Is the school within like eyesight of where you drop her off? Or is
The overpass was definitely within eyesight, and the school was literally just on the other side of the overpass.
Gotcha. So if you were to guesstimate it, would it be like a quarter mile, half mile?
Yeah, maybe like a 5-10 minute walk, depending on your speed.
Okay.
We had dropped her off close to the school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner.
Yeah, so I put that part up there because I want you guys to realize that every single time that Jennifer tells the story, she also says, even though she says we, because it's kind of like the family unit thing, she was supposed to take Madeline to school, but had him do it for the family. And so it's a we, but then she does clarify every single time that it was Stephan Sterns who actually was the person who took her to school. And I think it's weird when people still keep saying she lied about that over and over and over again.
Woke up around 7:15, somewhere around there, which is an early start for us, but we had talked about getting McDonald's breakfast beforehand, so we wanted to make good time. We did make good time. We got out the door maybe 7:30ish, 7:45ish maybe. Got over to that area. She was asleep in the car most of the time, just snoozing until we got there. We got to McDonald's. We're close to McDonald's. I said, "You still want it?" She wasn't interested in the McDonald's anymore, so we continued on. And she wanted to be dropped off a little down the ways from the school. She's got this phase that she's been into lately where she's very particular about what car she's seen getting out of in front of the school. She prefers that cars are, I guess, kind of hoopties. I get it. It's an image thing. But that was sometime probably between 8:20 and 8:40ish.
Well, don't you think that's amazing? Because, so he had the whole story, oh yeah, I dropped her off at 8:20, 8:40ish. Then they bring up later that, well, no, we see you going back to the apartment and we can see her in the vehicle propped up. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right, I drove back. 'Cause he didn't realize that they had her on camera after that. So then he had to quickly change the story. Yeah, to go back and get the clicker for the gate.
Monday morning, we took her to school. We dropped her off close to school, across the street from a church, which is it's right next to the school. She crossed the street and walked to school, what we thought walked to school. My boyfriend who drove her to school drove away at that point.
See, and again, in both those interviews that were done early on by news channels, she does say that Stephan Sterns is the one who actually dropped her off each time. But I don't know if there's creators out there that always leave out that part to sell a narrative.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw her.
Say that the last time we saw her, right? So he's doing that too. I think he's the one that introduced that sort of we thought process that Jennifer had.
Conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out, and I love her.
She's asleep most of the way, but then you go to a McDonald's and she's awake then, but says, I don't really want to go to McDonald's. Then you dropped her off. Oh, but then later the police tell you that you actually drove back home after that.
Sure, thanks. Love you too. That was it.
So my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry.
I went to pick her up from school today,
Okay.
and she never came out. They announced it over the speaker.
So this is at 12:36 on this camera.
And I'm just like, maybe she walked here, because sometimes she'll walk here to this office. I came here, nothing. I went back to the school, they were closed. I got an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher, and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that she was completely not at school today either.
Okay.
So she never made it. She got dropped off, and she was like,
And this is 6 minutes later. She's continuing the conversation.
so she's embarrassed by his car. So she didn't want to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
It's an image thing. She's in the face.
But he dropped her off half a block away and drove away.
And so even right there, she says he dropped her off a couple blocks away, not we. You know, even though she uses that term, but Stephan Sterns tries to end this whole conversation with saying we again. You know, because he wants to make sure that it's like a we thing, not just him.
Okay. Did she ever go to school though?
No, we called school.
She was walking in that direction. She was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got her walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just kind of...
I mean, look at the details he has, even trying to imitate the way she was walking. These are all completely fabricated things that he's telling them to make police believe it a little bit more, because wow, look at the detail.
You know, shambling over in that direction, it looked the same as any other morning.
Okay.
What was the last thing you asked?
If she had went to school, I think that's what it was.
So I got confirmation from the school that she never made it. They sent me an email saying she didn't make it. But I also spoke to her or emailed one of her teachers directly, and he looked at all her attendance for all her periods and told me she'd make it at all.
I mean, it seems like to me Jennifer did a whole bunch of different things trying to locate her daughter. It's Stephan Sterns here that is the one that's being deceptive about everything.
And was the last time you seen her? Do you know around what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off.
See that? When we dropped her off. I wonder if he was about to say I. Yeah, but I think that's why he stuttered. He said when we dropped her. Even though he sounded like he was going to say we the first time, in his mind he knew it was an I, and that was the mistake that made him pause. And then he realized, wait, that was the right way that I wanted to say it. And then he said we. I mean, it's pretty interesting. Let me just rewind that a little bit.
At all her attendance for all her periods and told me she'd make it at all today.
And was the last time you seen her? Do you know around what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off.
All right, this next portion's about the clothing.
She also likes the cool morning walks too. She was wearing her hoodie.
She likes cool morning walks. She was wearing her hoodie. So he's absolutely knowledgeable about what Madeline was wearing that morning. He even gets really specific.
She was feeling the cold weather. She likes that.
Madeline Soto, age 13. I'm trying to get a clothing description now. What was she last seen wearing?
Or in my bedroom.
Okay. At this point in time, do you recall what Madeline was wearing?
I don't know.
Let me ask it a different way. Can you tell me whether or not she was wearing a long-sleeved green sweatshirt and jeans?
Oh, no.
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie.
White Crocs.
So isn't it interesting about the white Crocs? I think the white Crocs, now just rethinking it, is something that he intentionally wanted police to know about, because he thought that they were going to be missing from the house, because he intentionally had them missing from the house. I think it also indicates that Madeline was killed inside the house, and he's absolutely aware that he thought he had collected the white Crocs. He just missed one of them. One made it into the garbage can, and since he's the one that put it into the garbage can, that means he intentionally put it in there. And I think that means that he killed her in the house, and he wants police to realize that, hey, the Crocs are missing. That's a true part of the story too. But oh boy, he left one of the shoes, one of the Crocs, in the house.
White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
See, and that's interesting right there. He says the green hoodie and blue or black pants, and that's exactly what Maddie was found in. Now, Jennifer starts saying about black shorts, but that's because that's what was laid out or was decided she would be wearing the night before. And since he said black pants, she said black shorts, because that's what Madeline had decided on.
Black shorts?
Yeah.
Black shorts? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Madeline, does she lay out her clothes for school the next day, or is that something she gets in the morning, makes a game time decision like my kid?
Typically, it is a game time decision morning of.
Okay. What about this specific evening? Do you remember anything about it?
Yes. This evening, we had, I had already discussed prior to Stephan coming to visit that he was going to help me take Maddie to school that day. So because I knew that was what was going to happen that night, I had asked Maddie, pick out your clothes, have everything ready, have your backpack ready, your water bottle, everything you need ready, so that way you could just grab your stuff and head out. It won't be too much of a hassle in the morning. And so she did. She picked out her clothing. I asked her what she was wearing, and she told me what she had picked out. I said, okay, fine.
Pursuing local, reference a 21 to a vehicle.
I think black shorts.
An unknown male, gray hoodie, black pants, black.
See, they said green hoodie, and then she says black shorts. She doesn't alter the green hoodie part. She just believed that she was going to be wearing black shorts. And since Stephan Sterns said blue or black, that made it so that Jennifer would be able to say, oh yeah, well, we were going to have her wear black shorts. That's what Madeline laid out the night before.
White Crocs with socks.
And notice how he jumps in with white Crocs with socks. He really wants them to know that there were white Crocs with socks. And he knows that he threw away the Crocs, so they'll be missing from the house. And therefore, he's telling the truth, everybody.
Information 1064, 1946.
When the deputies first talked to you, when you were reporting her missing,
yeah,
you remember writing a statement?
Yes.
Okay. In that statement, you say you saw Maddie.
I saw. I know. I misremembered. I didn't.
And that's the part that I've always said. That's the one element that she either intentionally didn't tell the truth, or, that's just what she remembers. Now we know that he came home, meaning Stephan Sterns came home, like 8:15 or so, and walked the dog, but she heard people in the kitchen. And since she knew what Madeline was going to be wearing, she was like, oh yeah, her memory may have told her that she saw Madeline. However, it could also be that she was just trying to help him out. Like, say you saw her, say you saw her. And, that's definitely something possible when you have a groomer controlling person like Stephan Sterns. But listen to the rest of this.
I didn't see her.
Okay.
I wanted to believe I saw her, but I didn't.
But when you're talking to the deputy on his body cam, you describe what she's wearing.
Because she had picked it out the night before.
Okay.
I told her to set up her clothes the night before to have it ready, so she was ready to go.
You see that? I mean, that absolutely makes sense. That's why she said black shorts. So the only real thing that you have in this case is that she said that she saw Madeline in the morning, and she actually didn't see, but she's honest and say, I really didn't see. She doesn't keep it going. And here's the some of the church video corroboration
She was
stuff.
Spotted walking by the church, by the middle school, on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
So it's possible that she came here and sat in the parking lot.
This is Jennifer's sister right here. And this officer actually corroborates the fact that they did see somebody on a video, a girl walking around in this parking lot. I mean, that must have been the most amazing thing for Stephan Sterns, because his story, even before that video was released, was that he dropped her off right across the street from the church. And then there's this person just miraculously found. But law enforcement eventually realizes that can't be her, because they see Madeline propped up in the car at times that aren't consistent with that.
For a while, it's blurry video, but it looks like a adolescent child sitting right there, and she's sitting. The people here said that they were adamant they seen her on the property, but like I said, it's a blurry video, and I don't see her getting into anybody's car in the video. I see her sitting on property for give or take 10 minutes and then walking off property. I don't know which way she went from there. Around, like, I'll say...
Is there any way I can see so I can confirm it?
It's really blurry. It's like there's no possible way. You can ask them to see if they could allow you to see the video. I can't really grant that for you. And just have them see if they have them. But yeah, I had her sitting there and then she walked right off property.
With the video that you were able to see whenever your boyfriend dropped her off, where was that? Which video? Was that a surveillance camera?
It was a surveillance camera from the church, Peace Church, right next to Hunters Creek Middle School.
And do you have that video?
I don't have that. They didn't show me. They wouldn't show me. It was actually, my sister was the one at location, and they were letting her know what they saw on camera.
See, and that's the truth, right? I mean, that's exactly what we just saw in the body camera just prior to that.
Supposedly they got video of her walking past the church or waiting at the church for a while and then leaving.
God, he was so happy. And this is just one last little part.
Communities were. So thank you. So it's like around where these communities were.
Okay.
And it's just like in this stretch, like we could see the overpass down there.
Where's the school?
Just on the other side of the overpass.
Have you, like, literally put boots on the ground, went out?
Yeah, I even went out with the cops where I had dropped her off. And we looked all up and down the road, all along the communities, and there was nothing helpful. None of the cameras were pointing the street. Nothing, which in 2024 was surprising.
No cameras as of right now.
I can't believe that in this day and age, there's no cameras pointing on anywhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can find something. Yeah.
Yeah, so there he is. He's trying to pretend that he's out there, boots on the ground, looking all over the place. But there you have the same comment that he makes in that interview, he makes to the officer. Boy, this day and age, you know, geez, man, you'd think that there'd be surveillance cameras all around. Poor Stephan Sterns. Man, he just can't catch a break. All right, well, anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the elements of this video. I'm sure you've seen parts of it and heard parts of this, but probably not put together like this. In my opinion, it helps prove that Jennifer absolutely knew nothing about what Stephan Sterns was doing or did that day at all. She's very consistent. She actually tells the truth every single time that she's talking about, you know, what went on that day. She's just saying what Stephan Sterns told her, and then also says that he's the one that drove each time. The part that's still, you know, one of the things that I said as soon as we heard it a long time ago, that element of her saying that she saw Madeline in the morning is a problem for her. But I think through the investigation, as we heard in the July interview with Stephan Sterns' father, Chris Sterns, that police do not believe that Jennifer was aware nor involved in anything that Stephan Sterns was doing. So I think in the meantime, until other evidence comes out that shows that Jennifer did know, that people should cut her a break. Even though most of you wouldn't do any of the stuff that she did, you probably also haven't had a predator that slowly over a 7-year period groomed and controlled you to the point where you believed in them and trusted that person, and over time your guard came down and you were accepting things because you trusted that person. And you know, likely, you know, that's never going to happen to you, but it could, and you just got to be aware of that. I did a whole live stream a few days ago that went over all of the different things that these predators do and their targets, and I think Jennifer is a victim in this case. I mean, I don't think she's, you know, the mom of the year or anything like that, but you know, you got to feel bad for her. She trusted Stephan Sterns, and Stephan Sterns betrayed that trust and abused Jennifer's child and killed Madeline Soto. And we don't know the reason yet why he killed Madeline, but I think it's possible that he thought that she was pregnant, or she really was. That's about the only thing that would make a predator like Stephan Sterns believe there was no out, because she would eventually tell who made her pregnant, and it would have led back to Stephan Sterns. All right, everybody. Well, let me know in the comments what you guys think of these clips and the video. I appreciate you if you could hit that like button for me. Even if you disagree with the Jennifer concept, that's what I believe in this case currently. And I hope you still appreciate the videos, and if you could hit that like button, that'd be great. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.